Hello my dear friends, welcome back to another very exciting Star Wars video. It is I coming at you once again, your favourite galactic hostess, Star Wars Meg. And today I've got a very important follow-up to yesterday's video. We had our very first official look at the Mandalorian and Grogu movie coming in 2026. Jon Favreau went on stage at SXSW and revealed that adjacent to the upcoming movie, there is going to be a Mandalorian and Grogu revamp of Smuggler's Run at Galaxy's Edge. We were shown concept art, as well as some of the BDX droids and Anzellans that he confirmed are in the movie. In my last video, I broke down why these are important. But today guys, we need to talk a bit more about this concept art. It might have revealed a huge connection to the expanded universe, as well as Han Solo and Lando. Now I just want to reiterate as a disclaimer, the concept art for the Mandalorian and Grogu ride isn't the same as for the movie, but Jon Favreau says it's adjacent to it. The ride is not retelling the events of the movie. Instead, it's participating in events happening at the same time. But considering Din Djarin's new Razor Crest, because he's about to abandon his Naboo starfighter, appears on both Bespin and Tatooine, there is a chance there are connections to these planets in the film. Tatooine makes sense, Boba Fett, Pelimoto, but what about Bespin? This is what I wanted to talk about. In the photo we see Din's new ship and the Millennium Falcon, and from this, Star Wars fans have many questions. Are we returning to Cloud City from The Empire Strikes Back? Is Han Solo going to make an appearance? Are they going to DH Harrison Ford? Or is it going to be Alden Ehrenreich? I think the answers lie in the expanded universe. And my guess is that post-Episode 6, Bespin is going to play a similar role in Disney Star Wars canon to the expanded universe of old, now known as Star Wars Legends. And there are a couple of things we do know about Jon Favreau's movie that makes me think they're doing a new retelling of post-Battle of Endor events from the EU. Especially where it concerns the Hutts. In recent Star Wars canon, there is very little known about what took place on Bespin during the New Republic. We know just after the Battle of Endor there was a crazy governor, an Imperial remnant known as Adolhard, and he blocked off the entire Renoat sector, including Bespin. This led to a retaliation from the New Republic. Lando and Lobot fought back, rid Cloud City of any Imperial sympathizers and those who didn't want to believe that Palpatine was dead, and we assumed peace ensued. But look at the new concept art. The Imperial Remnant is back, and they've got a presence on Bespin. The expanded universe is a bit more detailed. Lando does return to Cloud City, but then he loses it. Just before the Battle of Endor, the Rebel Alliance raided the Imperial-controlled colony with the help of Rogue Squadron, and then after the liberation, Lando Calrissian returned as Baron Administrator. However, he then lost Cloud City in a game of Sabacc to Zorba the Hutt. In canon they can do a similar version of events, but with Rotta the Hutt. After Zorba was ousted, Lando turned governance of the city to King Oz of the Ugnaughts. Ugnaughts appeared in The Empire Strikes Back on Bespin, and they've also made a resurgence in The Mandalorian. So then Lobot became administrator. But then my dear friends, we cut to the time period of the New Republic, the time period of the Mandoverse. In Legends, in the final installment of Timothy Zahn's Thrawn trilogy, the Grand Admiral established a garrison there to supply ships with Tabana gas. As a gas giant, Bespin's upper atmosphere was abundant in the high-value resource. So as you can see, there are some overlaps with the characters, with the species, political interests that could be retold for canon. And I also just want to clarify this. While I stand by what I said, that I don't think this movie is going to be the grand scope that the Dave Filoni movie is going to be, there are still going to be building blocks that get us to that place. So when it comes to a Thrawn connection, I don't know if he's going to appear himself, but we're definitely going to see the reorganization of the Remnant and the Shadow Council following Moff Gideon's death. I can see a situation where Mando, in collaboration with Lando Calrissian and the New Republic, tries to fight the Remnant establishing a base there. And now that Thrawn is back in the known galaxy, Bespin is going to be very valuable to him. Not just because of its Tabana gas, but also because it might be a safe haven from the Grisk. I've always said one of the reasons Thrawn might be amassing a Dathomirian army isn't just to fight the New Republic, but because of an extra-galactic threat. In the expanded universe, this was the Yuuzhan Vong. In canon, it's the Grisk, and I think they might feature eventually in Dave Filoni's movie. If this is the case, similar to how Bespin was a safe haven from the Yuuzhan Vong because there was nothing for them to terraform, Bespin might be a protection from the Grisk. And so when we go to Bespin, if we go to Bespin in The Mandalorian and Grogu, some of the other remnants might be preparing for his arrival. Just looking at the concept art, I think they've re-established a presence there. The victory after Andor didn't last very long. If you know a lot of lore surrounding Bespin, you also know there are connections to Kal Katarn and Luke Skywalker. We could sit here speculating for days how it's all gonna tie together. But the one connection I find most important is Din Djarin and the Ugnaughts. They helped him on Plaisir 15 because he knew Kuiil. He name-dropped him. And I wonder if that initial friendship from the first season continues to have a legacy as we go into the Mandalorian movie. Even though he's gone, Kuiil continues to be important. I wonder if some of the Plaisir 15 stuff connects to what Mando is doing on Bespin, maybe in the way of diplomatic relations with the king. And could you imagine, out of every place they could have done this, they used the Mandalorian and Grogu to tell the story of how Maz Kanata ends up with the Skywalker lightsaber, because Luke lost it on Cloud City. The Ugnaughts are the ones who retrieved it. I really don't know which way they're going to go with it, unless they have plans to bring Maz Kanata herself directly into this movie. There have been rumors of Takodana appearing in the Mandoverse for several years. But the biggest thing that stands out is the Millennium Falcon. Are they finally going to bring Han Solo into the Mandoverse? There were rumors just a few weeks ago. These are conversations Jon Favreau has had with Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni. And when it comes to Lando Calrissian, Donald Glover could reappear. The younger recast Lando from Solo: A Star Wars Story, who also is writing an upcoming Lando movie with his brother. And so this could be a way to connect the two projects. And for a movie which is slated to be fun, to have bounty hunters and criminals and huts, in light of the expanded universe, I can see why they might bring in Lando and Han Solo. Din Djarin crossing paths with some of these characters could be amazing. And while Solo 2 was never made, if they introduce Han, if they introduce Lando, and maybe Kira, who's alive during this time, there could be an inadvertent Solo reunion. I don't know about you guys, but suddenly this just became very exciting. And considering Bespin would be very easy to recreate, considering they have the model from The Rise of Skywalker, it's a promising contender not just for the Mandalorian and Grogu ride, but for the actual movie itself. What do you guys think? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you want to see Bespin? Do you want to see some familiar locations re-emerge? And how would you feel about Han, or even Lando, making an appearance? If you enjoyed this one, guys, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials, the link to my Patreon is down below, but until the next one, my dear friends, may the Force be with you, always.